running on abortion isn't a bad thing. It is the right thing. And I think running on protecting our rights and our freedoms is actually a winning message.
This is the 411 with Jessica Washington. This week, we're sitting down with Nina Smith, a political communication strategist, to talk about this week's election results and what this means for 2024 and Biden's re-election. Thank you so much for being on with us, Nina. We had so many historic firsts for Black Americans this week. We had obviously Yusef Salaam, who's the first exonerated person to be elected to city council in New York. We had our first Black woman mayor in Philadelphia. But I want to ask you, what races were you following?
I was definitely following Yusef's election in New York City, and of course, was watching what was going on in Philadelphia. Of course, there was history to be made in both of those races, and so kind of kept them on the radar.
What do you think that tells us about what's going to happen in 2024?
I mean, what in particular Democrats can take from this is that running on abortion isn't a bad thing. It is the right thing. And I think running on protecting our rights and our freedoms is actually a winning message, and one that can inspire and actually bring together the coalition that many folks are fretting is falling apart. And so what we saw on Tuesday was actually a roadmap that Democrats can follow going into next year and hopefully apply to the presidential election with Joe Biden. On a different tack and thinking about the Republicans, they actually need to do better on the issue of abortion. And if they're leaning into their pro-life stances, then it's actually going to harm them in elections and hamper their efforts to win the White House and Congress win Congress next year.
Biden's numbers are not great. His approval rating is not great. And yet we still saw a lot of wins for Democrats up and down the ballot. Does that mean something different, for Democrats in 2024? Like, what do you think that means?
Generally, a lot of times these elections turn into elections that are cult of personality, right? Or who is at the top of the ticket. And I think in this particular election, Democrats can look to actually showcase the coalition, showcase all of the folks who are working to protect reproductive freedoms, all the folks who are fighting back against LGBTQ, harmful restrictions and bills. These folks who are out on the front lines are the ones who are going to carry the election next year. And Joe Biden is a part of that, yes, but he's not the only part of that. And I think Democrats can be strategic and really smart about looking at a Kamala Harris, who can be a bridge to communities that are slowly slipping away, according to some polling, slowly slipping away from the Democratic Party, and how to shore up that base so that we continue to win elections the way we have over the last 3 or 4 cycles.